My protest cut off in surprise as he reaches behind me and cut my butt. Ooh. Ooh, getting right to the spicy. Oh, I like it. I heard him breathing through the mask as he took a moment to squeeze the flesh. Do you like what you feel? I know I should be horrified. I should be feeling violated by this, but goddamn, squeeze it. Oh, God.
Lion, are you ever going to stop warning us that this game is not for minors?
No, I'm not going to stop telling you guys that this game's not for minors, because this game contains some very intense scenes of gore, violence, assault, and adult content. Here are the content warnings, okay? I'm just going to let you guys look at it for a moment, okay? Pause it if you need some time to read it. There's even more content warnings on the game page as well as in the game itself. But without further ado, let's start to rizz up Foxy Boy over here. Hello everyone and welcome back to Price of Flesh. Now you are probably wondering, what am I doing back in Celia's office? If you don't know who Celia is, check out the last episode of this. And there's a good reason, okay? So, I think this might be the second or third day, but like this is after I've already gotten I've already got my cola and stuff. But in order to unlock Ren, you're going to need to search the area, okay? You're supposed to search the desk, okay? La-dee-dee, la-dee-doo, wa-da-da-da. And we're just supposed to get smashed. Wait, hang on. I should show you guys my sanity. So, my sanity is at 80 now, okay? I carefully open a bottle, tilt it back, and swallow a mouthful. And I'm just supposed to keep going and going and going until, my sanity can't take it anymore. And, there's gonna be a secret here. There's gonna be a secret. The only way I can find out about this is, I actually had to watch someone else's playthrough of this. Link to that is up there and in the description. But I'm just gonna get myself completely smashed. You have no idea how smashed I'm gonna be getting. Holy frick, the audio is getting even worse. Oh my God. Oh, more alcohols, please. Oh, yeah. So anyway, my sanity is down to 10%. I'm going to quickly drink some ginger ale, all right? And that's going to, bring my sanity back up, all right? 20 sanity, which is always good. It's always good to have more sanity. But I am going to drink more booze. All right, let's go. I tilt it back and swallow a mouthful. Ugh, buns. And I hope to God that this is the one, because I have 10 sanity left. Here we freaking go. What? Haha! DLC, the show must go on, is unlocked. And this is a secret. Here is a secret. And now we have the chance to go back into into the freaking auction, and we'll be able to unlock a very special route. What's this for? It's creepy. I don't like it. I put it back where I found it. Am I okay? I don't think I'm okay, but we are going to be heading back to the auction anyway. So, now we're back in the auction. Now we have the chance to point at the announcer. Oh? The announcer suddenly laughed with a strange bark. Stop messing around! The announcer cleared his throat. Yes, of course. I'm very flattered, and I would simply love to take you home, but I'm afraid the show must go on. These lovely and patient patrons have paid good money to be here today. So let's wrap up the bidding, shall we? Beg you now to take you home. Wait, please! I fumble for reasons. These people all sound insane. Surely I stand a better chance with whoever's doing the announcing here. I wanna go with you! Not them! Please! I flush at the sound of desperation in my voice. Please just let this work. That's kinda cute. You know, maybe you should take them home. What are you talking about? We've already bid! Relax, there's other choices, aren't there? Yeah, of course. We have a very diverse and exciting selection of products for you to peruse today. See? You can just bid on another one. Tcha! And I'm sure his fans will love to see another show. I sit there, frozen, listening to the exchange. Something about the Blue Window's voice changed when she mentioned a show. I'm humbled and flattered. Whatever you're deciding, get it over with. Ah, yes, I'm terribly sorry for the interruption. Well, how about this? If you're willing to so graciously relinquish this delightful specimen to myself, I'll give you a 10% discount on your next purchase. Aw, you're too kind. I happily accept. And I'm sure the others do too. Don't talk for me. I guess it's fine. I didn't really want this one anyway. Silence overtook the room again as the others waited for the green window to speak. It's fine. I can always wait for another one. Well, it's settled then. What an exciting turn of events. I suppose I'm the one who won this bid. He let out another barking laugh. Let's get him packed up and moved on to our next product. I felt a sharp jab in my ankle. I tried to bend down to inspect the pain, but I just crumpled to the floor. There was pain in my leg and I couldn't move. I was seeing double and trying to speak, but I passed out. You're not entering the Show Must Go On DLC. This content has its own warning, so please check them out if you have any concerns. The adult content toggle for this DLC affects some scenes, but it doesn't remove adult content entirely. I try my best to censor it. Got it. I completely understand. Should I read the content warnings? Nah, we're probably fine. The first thing I noticed was a pounding headache, then a strange sound. Clicking. A strange to hear, as the clicking became the rapid tapping of a keyboard. I opened my eyes. It's dark. Why am I so uncomfortable? I began to register my position, kneeling on the floor with my arms above my head. I tried to lower my arms and heard the unsettling clink of heavy chains. Oh? You look familiar! Someone was in front of me. Look who's awake! Right on schedule. I jerked in surprise away from him, but the chains held me in place. The voice was strange, flat, and mechanic. I couldn't make out his face. So, how are you? Do you remember what happened? As my brain started waking up, 1,000 questions started bubbling to the surface. I will save because I don't know what this is gonna do to me. Try to answer his questions. It hurts. I was at the auction and you're the announcer. Yeah, that's right. Now don't worry about all that. You made a choice. A choice to become my lovely co-star. And I have to admit, I'm a bit giddy. Well, same here, and honestly, your setup is so much better than, like, the last few setups. No one's ever asked to come with me before. Also, for those of you who are wondering, yes, this is Ren. Like, Ren is back. And goddamn, I love his setup. This is so much better than what Strayed had. And it's been so long since I put on a show. As he spoke, I tried to take note of my... A 2-camera setup! Holy frick, Ren! It's so dark. But 3 cameras! Now I'm impressed. I looked at a man in front of me. Aside from his strange ears and what appeared to be a tail, he's so short and he has a slender build. A little flame of hope came to life in my chest. I definitely made the right choice. I could have a chance in a fight. I looked down at myself and my train of thought was completely derailed. Underwear. And it's lacy. This definitely isn't mine. Ah, yes. Your outfit. I thought it would be perfect for your first show. What do you think? Give me my clothing back. Can I have some clothing? I'm not a girl. I guess it's cute. When did I change? Did you? I guess it's cute. Huh? You like it? It does look so cute on you. I spent quite a bit of time picking out the right set. We're going to have so much fun. And I just know chat will love you. Chat! The question popped out before I could think about it. Yes, darling. In just a few moments, we're going live. It's a big audience we've gathered. Oh, and I almost forgot. You can call me Fox. Everyone else does. He places a finger to my lips, and I felt the odd sensation of a claw above it. Don't worry. I don't need your name. I already know it. I opened my mouth to protest, but he had already turned away. I looked at the equipment surrounding me. They're cameras. A deep fear started creeping up my throat. Wait, you can't film me! You can't! Shh, was starting. Hello, can you hear me? Else the feed. I could tell he wasn't speaking to me. I couldn't quite see around him. Yes, you too. My goodness, you got in here fast. He cleared his throat and stood up straight. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you could join me at such short notice. Ah, yes, I missed you too. Yes, my beautiful patrons of exquisite taste. Welcome back. He lifted his voice and spoke in a deeply expressive way to his audience. It overcame the mechanical flatness that seemed to be caused by his mask. I've got such a treat for you today. A fresh face. Please say hello to Lion. Hello everyone, my name is Lion and welcome to the show. They were gonna be used for other business, but they wanted to come here instead. I squinted at a computer screen. It was some kind of chat room and a video feed of me. These people are watching me. Begged them to help you, insult them, stay silent. Oh, hey, oh, hee. I stay silent. I sank lower into my position, held up by my shackles. There's no point in screaming or crying, I can tell. I need to be patient and careful and wait for my moment. Oh, rancor, that is disgusting. Maybe later. Maybe later. Come on now. You guys know the drill. We need to pace ourselves. We need to make it last, right? Let's start small. He suddenly got close to me. He gently grabbed one of my pinky fingers. I tried to pull it away, but my hands were shackled together and chained up. Get those bets ready. This counts as first blood, alright? Stop. Oh! He yanked my finger backward with a vicious force. My screams devolved into pain groan. I looked back up at him, half expecting him to be facing the computer. But he wasn't. He was staring intently at me. Oh my god. I'm really gonna have this moment together, Ren. Oh my god. You have no idea how long it's been since I've last seen your eyes like this. My hands were shaking as I tried to hold back tears. Not bad. Not bad at all. Should I leave it there or put it back? I opened my mouth and choked out a whimper before speaking. Yeah. You know what? Put it back. Yeah, that'll be funny. He seemed pleased by my request. Of course. He immediately grabbed my finger and pulled it back into place. The wet grinding sound in my hand made me feel sick. But I managed to endure it without screaming. And it did somehow feel slightly better. I flinched as he moved, but it was only to turn to the screen again. So, what do you think? Yeah, I think so too. His tail swished behind him excitedly. Already? He laughed sharply. Well, with a donation like that, your wish is my command. So, feet again, Pandemonium? I'm just teasing, of course. Let's see what we can do. He took a theatrical bow before stepping back towards me. Wait! No, whatever you're thinking, no, do not. He ignored me completely as he bent down to my level. My protest cut off in surprise as he reaches behind me and cut my butt. Ooh, getting right to the spicy. Oh, I like it. I heard him breathing through the mask as he took a moment to squeeze the flesh. Do you like what you feel? I know I should be horrified. I should be feeling violated by this, but goddamn, squeeze it. Oh god. He slid his hand slowly down into the crook of my legs. Then he pulled, yanking my shins out painfully from under me. I yelped as my weight dropped entirely to my shackled wrists above me. What are you doing? He continued to ignore me and adjusted the camera. Now that my feet were in front of me, I realized that they too were shackled together. I shuddered as he held one of my feet and rubbed with a clawed thumb. Take a good look, guys. The glitter of a knife seemed to stop my heart for a moment. Are you gonna carve my butt? Things are about to get real messy. I tried to jerk my foot out of his grasp, but his grip was as tight as the iron shackles. Pain streaked up my leg as he pressed the tip of the knife into my soul. I clenched my jaw and tried not to scream. I didn't want to give these people what they surely wanted. I didn't want to look, but he caught my gaze and a knowing look crossed his eyes. He plunged the knife deep into the bones and tendons of my foot. I only realized I was shrieking a moment later. We've got plenty of blood now. I was shaking uncontrollably and hanging from my wrist made it terribly obvious. They've gone nice and wet. What do you think, Chad? He leaned closer to me. Should I have a feel of my butt? He didn't look at his screens or wait for an answer. No! He shoved his thumb into the wound in my foot, tearing another scream from me with a stick claw. No? My vision wavered as he massaged his thumb roughly into the wound. But you begged for this. Or did you forget? Please, I didn't. He flipped the knife in a show for the camera. You did. But I think chat would like to see some more blood. Isn't that right? He finally relinquished my foot and turned to his monitors. After reading for a moment, he chuckled. You guys are so one-track minded. That's why I love you. As the pain from my foot turned into a duller ache, I noticed the pain in my wrist again. I struggled to get my feet back under myself, and he noticed. Here, let me help you with that. I cursed myself for flinching from him again, but he simply pushed my legs into their first position. Now, chat is still thirsty. What do you think? Screw you, do whatever you want, remain silent. Beg him to stop. I feel like Chad would want me to beg him, but he would like it if I like tell him to do whatever he wants. Tell what you want to me, Ren. Do you really mean it? He let out a simple, sharp laugh. I'm so glad I have your blessing. He moved to give a clear view of the cameras. He raised the knife, my blade still clinging on the edge. I sucked in a breath in preparation as he lowered it to the skin of my chest. He raked it shallowly across my body, slicing apart the lacy top he dressed me in. It stung, but I kept my composure as well as I could. For a moment, I wondered why he would cut through the underwear he must have bought. I looked down at his knife, and the absurdity of that thought almost made me laugh. What is happening to me? The sting on the blade interrupted the chaos of my thoughts. I could suppress a groan this time. It was cutting deeper than before. A hot trickle of blood made its way over my heaving chest. I barely registered a low hum coming from him as he stroked warm fingers over my bloody chest. The sensation made me shiver involuntarily. Lovely. He raised the knife to my collarbone. I winced before the knife touched me, but it didn't prepare me for the intense pain. I couldn't help but cry out. It hurt so much worse than the other cuts. His other hand was dipped to my waist. My composure was breaking. I could feel it. He kept cutting, and I kept crying. When I raised my voice, his hand squeezed my waist, digging claws into my skin. I glanced down and choked. My entire body was covered in blood now. Is he gonna kill me like this? As if he could read minds, he stilled his hands and leaned in close. I could hear him breathing hard through the mask. I didn't dare speak. His ear twitched towards the computer, instead he stood up. He wiped off the blade as he read the words on the screen. Yeah, got a little carried away. Can you blame me? His hips swayed to the side, as if all he'd done was some kind of charming foible. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for the generous donation, wound fricker. Is there something special you'd like to see? Anything for my most loyal customer. Huh? Oh, of course. Is that all? He suddenly turned back to me. God, no more. He circled behind me and crouched in a fluid motion. I flinched at the sound of a metallic click. But to my surprise, the wrist shackles were disconnected from the chains above me. I fell forward clumsily until I was caught by clawed hands. Nah. Come on back up. He pulled me back upright on my knees against him with surprising firmness. Oh my god, Ren's firm hands. My hands were still bound by the shackles, but I relished the release of the strain from hanging. But my relief was short-lived as he grabbed my chin from behind and forced me to look into the cameras. You've been so quiet, darling. Why don't you say something nice for your admirers? His claws dug into my cheeks in direct contrast to his sickly, sweet tone of voice. Please, I don't want to die. Hi, spit at the camera. Hi! I can't believe that's an option. Oh my god. Aha! They're so shy. He forced my head to shake with his hand. That's okay though. We can see you're trying your best, can't we? Something wrapped around my neck from behind. A wave of panic washed over me as I tried to grasp it with my bound hands. It was some sort of cable, pulling tighter and tighter. I couldn't grab it. I can't breathe. I tried to throw myself to the side, but all it did was tighten the wire around my neck. With increased urgency, I clawed at my own neck. I can't. You know, wound fricker. Panic eclipsed all other sensation. I dug my own fingernails deep into my neck. I think I snaked this one from your boy. It wouldn't move. It's too tight. I can't. The shackles on my wrist got heavier and heavier. It was a little funny. I think he was a bit upset. The wire. I have to. My shaky hands kept dropping as I mentally screamed at myself to lift them. To pull the wire off. To do anything. It's such good taste. Just like his old man. My hands fell into my lap like lead. My vision darkened. Fox's voice became jovial, static. I couldn't feel anything. Nothing at all. Something hit me. My desperate lungs tore a violent inhale from the air. My body exploded into a terrible mess of coughing and sobbing. I began to writhe against the ground. When did I fall? What is happening? Oh, nation. We can wrap it up with... How's it going, sweetie? Huh? Fully loaded was to see you perform. I was still gasping. I could barely understand what was happening. You need to wake up. He grabbed my head. Before I could register what was happening, he slammed my face into the floor. How am I doing? I'm still okay. What? Okay. I felt a crunch on the front of my face throughout my whole body. I was fully paralyzed with agony. He pulled my wrist up and reattached him to the chains above. Blood streamed down my face. I couldn't do anything but stare in shock. He grabbed the side of my head and forced me to look straight ahead. Are you guys ready for the finale? He pressed himself into the back of my head. I froze in recognition as I felt his... Oh, he's rubbing himself against the nape of my neck. Oh, God. I was surprised to feel him let go and walk away. When he came back, my blood ran cold. He waved the gun in clear view of the cameras. No, wait! Shh. I'm not going to kill you. If you do a good job, anyway. Actually, he turned to his monitors. Why don't we play a little game? It'll be fun. I heard the rapid tapping of a keyboard. I've made a poll. He turned back to me with a horrific glint in his eye. I cringed involuntarily as he approached me and raised the gun to my face. The lion here is going to open their mouth and give the barrel of the gun the best BJ we've ever seen. What? And you guys will vote on whether or not I pull the trigger. What do you think? I trembled as he read the screens. He looked back at me. Better get to work. Before you start voting. Wait, I obey confidently. I can do this. I just have to imagine it's not a gun. I lean forward and open my mouth. I am so sorry to all of you who heard that. Oh, God. He gleefully shoved the gun inside. I immediately tasted blood. Must be from my face. My nose must be broken. I won't let that distract me. I stuck my tongue out and made sure the camera could see. Yeah, I'll give you a freaking show. I leaned further forward, straight against the chain above. Responded by pushing the gun deep in my throat. I choked briefly, but kept my mind on task. My life depends on this. My body hurts so much. I turned a pain groan into a moan. I heard his breath catch, even through the mask. It's working! I made sure to keep moving my tongue. I was concentrating so hard on cameras, I nearly missed the sounds he made. Undoing his belt? I risked a glance and my suspicions were confirmed. He undid his pants and started palming. Ah! Ren, why? Oh! I'll take that as a good sign. If he likes it, maybe they like it. I'll let another moan for the cameras. And if they like it, hopefully, I could hear him panting. This isn't so hard. Now you're getting it. He was practically moaning. I made a show of licking the length of the gun barrel. I was shivering. Good. You might have to work a little harder to impress chat, though. I wrapped my lips around the gun. My thoughts wandered to the people watching. Chat. How many people are watching this? My shivering became shaking. Come on. I could feel a hot flush flooding my face. Is it them watching me? Is it him? Or am I... Have to focus on survival. Slow more. I obeyed him and ignored everything else. It's just a gun. My thoughts were interrupted as the gun was suddenly pulled from my mouth. He was looking at the screen. What a damn shame. I thought you did really well. Wait, what? But they're the ones in charge. You failed to perform? God! Damn it! Okay, so apparently I'm supposed to keep chat's affection up in order to survive that. So right here, the moment like show starts, I'm supposed to beg chat to help me. Help me! Please, I was kidnapped. I didn't ask to be here. Please, call the police. My voice wavered with my conviction as I saw Fox standing, uncaring, as if this was exactly what he expected. I tried to see the computer screen. He addressed the camera. Yep, that's another one in the back bucket. Honestly, I don't know why you guys bet on anything else. Nah, sorry, Diamond. Let's see how your other bets go, huh? That's a good sport. No one was calling the police. No one seemed to care at all. Oh, rancor. That is disgusting. Maybe later. Maybe later. We're just gonna skip ahead. So over here, instead of telling him to do whatever he wants, I'm just supposed to say screw you so that chat will like me. He laughed sharply. I had a feeling he'd say something like that. He leaned in close to me and lowered his voice to a whisper. Chat adores the feisty ones. He moves to give a clear view for the cameras. He raised the knife, my blood still clinging onto the edge. I sucked in a breath in preparation as he lowered it to the skin of my chest. And we're skipping ahead. And I'm spitting at the camera. I spit as hard as I could at the camera in front of me. Ugh. I realized with some sense of satisfaction I got the lens. He shoved me forward onto my face. I struggled with my shackles, wrists under me. Suddenly, a swift kick collided with my ribs. Pain exploded through my torso. I couldn't breathe. I lay there paralyzed as his shoes walked past me to the camera. You can't blame me! You told me the chat likes a feisty one, so I'm gonna be feisty. A flash of metal on the tip of his shoe told me why it hurt so much. I wonder if he broke a rib. There. How is it? Nice and clear again? Yeah. Very funny. You guys are so... He started laughing. Really? You bet that much? You really do have excellent intuition, Diamond. Congratulations on your big win. Huh? Oh yeah. Of course. I haven't forgotten. A hand clasped around my neck and yanked me backwards onto my knees again. I wheezed, still struggling to breathe. Break time's over. Something wrapped around my neck from behind. And we're just gonna skip ahead a bit confidently like we did before. La-di-da-di-da. Let's see what's different. I gasped as the gun was suddenly withdrawn from my mouth. You're a natural. It looks like Chad was impressed. He placed the gun on the table. A little flutter of hope lit up in my chest. They like you, and they want to see more. They do? That's right, darling. He was still breathing hard, still touching himself. God, that Ren, why? His claw had plunged into my eye when I moved. My scream trailed off into an agonized groan. His painful grip stayed for so long, until it finally dropped away. My face was drenched in blood and other liquids I didn't want to think about. His heavy breathing finally evened out and he tucked himself back into his pants. The humiliation was just a faraway buzzing in comparison to the agony. My eye. I can't see from it. Did he really? My attention snapped back to him as he composed himself with a satisfied sigh. I thought you might like that. Did you really have to sploosh in my eye? Did you really have to make a mess of my eye holes? Like, god damn it, Ren. Also, yes, that's what he did. That's what you guys missed. It's over on my Patreon. Whatever. He was talking to them again. A perfect end to a perfect stream. Thank you so much for joining me, my delightful patrons. And let me show a little appreciation for a lovely star, Lion. Yes, I agree. Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of fun next time too. Good night for now. He made a motion of blowing a kiss to the camera. Then he clicked something I tapped away at the keyboard. He sighed and turned to me. I squinted up at him painfully with my one good eye. To my surprise, he pulled off his mask. Well, you survived the show. It's not very common, you know. You should be proud of yourself. I had no idea what to feel. Everything hurt so much. As adorable as you are like that, we should get you cleaned up. His voice sounded different without a mask. My brain was barely holding on to the concept. Hey. Suddenly he was holding my face, looking at me. Snapping fingers. I'm tired. Is he gonna cook me something? Am I gonna get a Ren special? Hi, Ren! Mike! God, he's cute. There you go. Huh? You passed out. Can't really blame you. You did lose a lot of blood. I guess as I saw him clearly for the first time. He's older than I realized, and he is really short. But clearly inhuman as well. I looked around the empty room around me. Why can't I see? I held up a hand to touch my eye and found bandages. My eye! Yeah. Bit of a shame. But you have a spare, huh? I did what you said! I survived, you said! That's right. You did very well. Aren't you gonna let me go? He responded in that sharp bark of a laugh. Oh, sweetie. You're not going to be leaving. A lump caught in my throat. You have a job now. You need to keep performing. What? In fact, you better get some rest. You'll want to heal as best as you can for our next show. You stepped towards the door. That can't be it. I lunged forward and immediately crumpled to the floor. Searing pain shot up my foot. Yeah, you might want to stay off that foot. Don't want to tear your stitches now. I cradled my foot and tried not to cry. Good night, lion. Wait! Nothing. Who are you? Why are you doing this? Let me go. Hey, nothing. I just want to say that you're cute. Sleep tight. I stared at the door. Then I looked around at myself. Absolutely nothing aside from a toilet in the corner and some kind of foam mattress. Oh. Well, I'm going to save because I don't know what this is going to do. I have no actions I can do. Try to escape? I huffed and stood up straight. I have to try. Tried the door first. Locked and extremely heavy duty. Aside. I guess I should have expected that. I spent another hour or so examining the room. The mattress, toilet, and every corner, every seam of wall to floor. But there's nothing. This was a huge waste of time. My sanity! I flopped down onto the foam pad. I gazed up at the ceiling and noticed one of the lights was out. Wait, that's not a light. It's a camera. He could have been watching me. He might be watching me now. I curled up, disturbed. Can't think about that now. I just need to get some rest. I woke up slowly, my body aching. The memory of the night before came flooding back to me with a wave of panic. As I stared at my empty confines, the panic slowly turned to misery. I looked down at myself and froze. Plain underwear. He undressed me when I was knocked out. I shivered at the thought before laying back down. There's no point in getting upset now. I rolled over and closed my eyes. I stayed in that room for what felt like days, but it was impossible to tell. No windows, no change in the lights. Nothing to look at all. The maddening silence was only broken once every several hours. A meager meal of bread and water in a paper cup being pushed through the slot in the bottom of the door. I considered starving myself. I didn't have the strength, so I ate. I rested. I tried to pretend I was in a hospital. Everything was fine. Some of my wounds began to feel a little better, but my eye didn't. It felt hot and itchy. I was too afraid to lift the bandages. Coward. I shook the thought from my head. I let myself drift away into unwavering unconsciousness. The sound of heavy doors swinging open jolted me out of a restless nap. Hello, lion. It's time for you to get to work again. I shot up Ryan. I unconsciously shuffled backwards. He's back. He came back. Who in the world? Before I could say anything, two huge guards entered the room behind him. It made him look even shorter, but somehow, the air of malice still came directly from him. You need to get dressed. Dressed? My own voice sounded foreign to me. I realized I hadn't spoken in days. He threw a wad of black netting in front of me. Yes, dressed. I grabbed and examined the wad of material. It unfurled into some sort of bodysuit made entirely of fishnet. Kinda hot, complete of underwear that looked much too small for me. I looked back up at him. Surely it doesn't. He sighed with obvious annoyance. We're on a schedule. You can get dressed, or I'll have him do it for you. I looked at a pair of goons and gulped. Yeah, I'll get dressed. I can do it myself. I held up the scant netting. Ugh. I hooked a thumb in my underwear and looked up, half expecting them to turn around. Oh, of course they didn't. Shakily, I removed my underwear, trying to cover myself. Thankfully, they seemed to not react at all. I hastily put on the new underwear. I was a bit relieved to find it was extremely stretchy, but it was still terribly revealing. I sighed in defeat and pulled a fishnet over my body. Ah, lovely. Stand up straight and turn. I could feel myself flushing hotly. I tried to remind myself that this is surely better than what's coming. The thought didn't help much. I obeyed him and turned around slowly. Perfect. It did sound pretty happy. Hopefully, I bought myself some mercy. He made a motion towards me, and a guard approached. I stayed still as he circled behind me and pulled my arms back. A click, and the familiar weight of metal shackles weighed my wrists down. Now, come on. We don't have much more time. The guard pushed me forward and out of the room. I was walked down a few dark hallways before we stopped at another heavy door. As I was pushed through the darkness, I smelled old blood. I saw the screens, the chain. I was pushed to my knees below it. Not this room! Not this room! I couldn't stop the panic from buzzing in my brain. My feet were shackled to the floor. Oh, God, not again! My wrist shackles were attached to the chain. That'll be all. Fox's footsteps left the room, and the door thudded shut with terrifying finality. There was an awful voice in my head, repeating the same thing over and over. You're not gonna survive this again. A hand grabbed my face. Are you ready? Just take a deep breath. I think you'll... Well, we're about to go on. He let me go without waiting for an answer, and he tapped at the keyboard. He rolled his shoulder and sighed. Then he straightened. Hello, dear friends. Welcome back. I see it's gotten a bit busier here. How exciting. I bet I can guess why that is. You've fallen in love with Lion, haven't you? He laughed, not his usual buck, but the light and controlled laugh of a host. Well, I'm pleased to share him with you. He stepped out of the way and gestured to me. I slumped into my bonds. I know them now. There's no point in begging or crying for help. Oh, come on. Don't be shy. Say hi to your admirers. Hi, please go easy on me. Eat poop and die. Stay silent. Hi, please go easy on me today. Hee hee. I looked at the camera and tried to smile. I know it was shaky and weak, but maybe if I charm them, they won't. Oh, how adorable. He stared at me for a moment. Then he turned back to the camera. Now, I was thinking we'd start off with... Huh? What happened to that eye? Ah, how careless of me. My apologies. Some of you weren't here last time. Allow me to show off our previous works. He lifted the camera off its tripod. They brought it close to me. I could feel myself cringing away from the invasive lens. He circled behind me. The foot was fun. It looked like it's healing pretty well. I yelped involuntarily as the claw prodded stitches at the bottom of my foot. It was certainly rough enough to draw blood, but I couldn't see. He came back around. Can you see the bruises? Ah. He shoved the camera close to my chest. It was a little hard to tell with the fishnets right now, but we had to sew them up here too. And of course, he brought the camera up to my face, hovering above the bandage over my eye. I suppose you'd like to see what's under here, huh? Without warning, he unhooked the back of the bandage and hastily unwrapped it. Wait! The last part was stuck. He tugged it and tore it away from the flesh and dried fluid it was fused with. Stinging pain returned, and I felt a warm drop roll down my face. Maybe we should have changed the bandage. Doesn't look so good. He actually sounded a bit apologetic. I assume it was for the cameras. He delicately placed the camera back on his tripod and took a moment to read his screens. Now. You know that kills them every time. We can't do that before we're done with everything. Where's the fun in that? Let's start with something a bit more nuanced. He left me for a moment as he retrieved something. Then he held it to the camera. You're going to be very patient if you want to appreciate the finer things in life. So, plenty of you seem to remember what this is. Anyone have any design ideas? He went silent for a moment as he seemed to consider whatever chat was writing. Interesting ideas. I'm not so sure about the artistic vision, though. Let's do a classy design, for old time's sake. Shall we get to work then? Fear prickled up my neck as he made his way up to me. He lifted the item in front of me this time. Do you know what this is? A glue gun? Wait, hang on, let me take a look. That looks kind of like a glue gun, but I'm not entirely sure. A glue gun? I don't know. He leaned back and barked out a laugh. That's close, I suppose. Close enough. Let's get started, shall... Is that a soldering gun? He circled around to my back again where I couldn't see. Your cute little fishnet is in the way. I felt claws touch my bare skin. I couldn't help but shiver and arch away. I could hear his breathing get deeper. I steadied myself and prepared for pain. I only hear the faint tear of the fishnet instead. What? When then? The slow anticipation of agony I knew was coming threatened to push me into insanity. Warmth spread over a small area of my spine. It was kind of nice until I shrieked in agony. A searing hot pain was pressed to my back. I tried to wrench my body away from it, straining against the shackles. Stay still, darling. He hissed into my ear. I could hardly hear him over my own screaming. He dragged a point over my skin, burning, sizzling. I could smell my skin. I twisted in my bonds and wretched from the awful smell of my own flesh cooking. Relax. I couldn't think. I needed to escape the pain. The burning. The horrific instrument was lifted from my skin, only to be brought down again, directly over my spine. I screamed as my body slammed against the restraints. My shoulder! Something! I couldn't concentrate. Tears flowed freely down one side of my face from my undamaged eye. I couldn't stop screaming. He kept dragging and searing point through my skin for what felt like an eternity, until he finally lifted it, pausing. The pain washed over me in residual tidal waves. It felt like I was drowning in it. Dizzy. I heard his footsteps. He took the camera somewhere behind me. Well, pretty cute, right? I blinked and tried to see the screen. The feet of my own mutilated back. The shape. A heart. I heard him laughing. It sounded hollow and far away. The arm. Really? Suddenly, he was holding my face again. Wake up, sweetie. Does your shoulder hurt? I groaned, slowly absorbing his words. My shoulder. I tried to move it and cried out again. What? You dislocated it. I told you not to squirm so much, didn't I? I heard a metallic click. I screamed as my wrists and the heavy metal cuffs attached to them suddenly fell down. I crumpled forward into a sobbing heap. Do you want me to push it back in? Yep, sure, why not? That's a good pet. I'll make you feel better. He bent down and grabbed my wrist out from under me. Emotion sent another dizzying wave of panic from my shoulder. I saw him opening the shackles with a key. I briefly considered using the opportunity to escape. I try to escape. This might be the only chance I'll ever get. I shoved him away from me with my good arm and tried to stand. I fell forward. My legs were weak and still shackled to the floor. No! I caught as his boots slammed down on my ravaged back. That was stupid. Brave, maybe, but stupid. The heel ground down. He scoffed lightheartedly. Chad thought it was pretty cute, though. I groaned in pain as his boot left my back. I felt his knee replace it. Then he grabbed the wrist of my injured arm. Wait, what? I shrieked as he yanked my arm outwards. Oh, wait, that actually felt good. Oh, but I felt the bone sink back into its socket. The pain died down immediately and significantly. Tears of relief rolled down my cheeks and onto the floor. He pushed me back into a seated position and clamped the cuffs back over my wrist. I hissed in pain as he raised my arms and clipped it back onto the chain. Be careful now. His voice dropped into a dangerous growl. That shoulder is still delicate. He casually turned back to the screens. It took a moment to read before chuckling quietly. I agree. I'll have to watch the footage back myself. I was busy. He turned back to me. Chet tells me you look incredibly cute while I was working on your back. They really liked it. They're itching to see more. I shrank away from him slightly. Not more. He scooped gracefully behind me and crouched so that his face was right beside mine. I flinched as he pressed against my back, reigniting the pain in my burns. He spoke clearly to the cameras. I'm ready for more, Chad. I jolted as I felt his hand slide over my thighs. I couldn't stop a whimper as his claws dug into the soft flesh on the inside. He dug the claws in and pulled, forcing my legs apart. The camera. There. Despite everything, I could feel shame hitting my face again. I lowered my head, trying to escape the sensation. Come on now. I could feel the cold metal of his mask against my cheek. Don't be shy. I held in a cry as he raked the claw through my skin, tearing the fishnet. He dug them in ruthlessly, keeping my legs pried open. I bet Chat is getting very excited. I don't even have to check to see. He reached a hand up to my chin and held it up for the camera. We're going to put on a show like they've never seen. His voice went quiet. Aren't we? Any questions about what he meant disappeared as he roughly grabbed the front of my underwear I was forced to wear. I yelled as he pulled back, his claws easily tearing the fabric away and grazing my sensitive flesh. I gasped and automatically tried to close my legs, but his iron grip returned and he held them open, claws digging in again. How is he so strong? I cringed, mind racing, trying to forget the cameras, trying to stop my body from shaking. Take a good look, Chat. This might get a bit intense. I breathed a sigh of relief as his hands relinquished my thighs. I clamped him back together as he stood up and walked away. I could hear the shuffling of objects, chains. I somehow felt more exposed in front of the cameras without him there. He returned, holding things I couldn't make out and dragging a large wedge. He pushed the wedge in front of me. Something clicked on the floor, holding the wedge in place. Then he returned to his position in front of the screens and held up some kind of belt. No, it was a gag. Then he wagged something else in front of the camera with a light shot. Ren! Have you been on Bad Dragon? The hell is that? Isn't it funny? It reminds me of... Oh, god damn it, Ren. It reminds you of Japanese fun times. You like it? No, it's going in their mouth. I know. You like the screaming. But this is all part of the game. We need to fill up their throat. Wait, what? Lend me your faith, beloved friends. It'll be fun. What do you mean? He returned, kneeling in front of me and pushing the object through the gag. I could finally see it. Some sort of tentacle. This must be a shit. Is he really gonna shove a tentacle in my mouth? Ren, you gotta try harder to intimidate me. This is exactly what I'm into. Like, goddamn, like this is Lion 101. You just shove a tentacle in his face and he says yes. This is why I really want to get Baldur's Gate 3, guys. Please, for the love of God, I really want to get Baldur's Gate 3. Open wide. I didn't even have a chance to resist or comply. He jabbed 2 claws into my mouth, and that was enough to shove the skinny tip of the silicone tentacle in. Silicone! My protest was cut off by the rest of the tentacle being swiftly pushed in. I couldn't do anything but choke as he fastened the rest of the gag around my head. My heaving brought tears to my eyes, but I slowly adjusted. I was shaking, but I could still breathe through my nose. How's that? I could only stare at him, panic surely written all over my face. Good. You're all ready for the fun part. He held up the lasso. What is that? A chain. It's a choke chain. But I had this one specially made. The prongs were sticking straight out and they ended in cruelly sharp points. I tried to jerk away as he lowered the chain around my neck. My attempt was cut short by the metal needles. That's right. Should be careful. The gag and its attachment kept my neck stiff. What in the saw is this? I finally understood it. Even breathing and swallowing became a dangerous ordeal. I'll be okay if I just stay perfectly still. The click of my wrist cuffs being unhooked startled me out of my thoughts. My hands fell in front of me, causing another grazing by the needles. I could only shiver in reply. Making sounds was impossible. I heard the clink of the chain behind me. I would try to move with it to avoid any more damage. Another click. There. The steady position of the collar told me he hooked it to the same chains my cuff used to be attached to. I was paralyzed in my position. The fear of the needles kept me still. I felt his fingers on my back. Even the feather-light touch sent shockwaves of pain through my destroyed skin. I began to press. I was forced to lean over the wedge. Panic shot through me as I tried to steady myself with my hands on the wedge. He kept pushing my back. I was trapped between the pain of my skin and the threat of the choke chains, and the awkward balance over the wedge. I leaned awkwardly forward, trying to steady myself. My legs were already shaking. The barbs of the chain dug into my throat. ready for the hard part. I heard the unmistakable pop of a button and shuffling of cloth. Again with the dropping. Why do you keep dropping your goddamn pants, Ren? I know that you're as feral as I am, but for the love of God, Ren. The pain seemed distant now. My limp body slipped down. I ignored the sounds of him fastening clothing, talking breathlessly to his chat. The wedge was pushed away. The chain finally lifted away from my neck. And finally, the gag on my head unfastened and pulled out from my throat. I gasped in relief. I shook my head and started to notice what I was hearing. Obedient little pets. I felt it. They were definitely done. He laughed lightly, still a little out of breath. I can't believe I almost auctioned them. My wrists were pulled up to their original position and attached to the chain above. I hung from them limply. I felt his hand and cupped my face. Hanging in there. I'm a little bit surprised you survived that. But you did well. His hand caressed me gently. You did very well. He left my side and went back to his screens. He seemed to be reading. Uh-huh. You tell me your eye looks terrible, and I'm afraid they're right. I turned my head away automatically. I didn't know why I felt ashamed of it. I think it might cause problems if we leave it like that. I think it's going to have to come out. Please don't just do whatever you're going to do. Yes, please take it out. Ignore him. You know what? I have a feeling that the eye is probably infected at this point, so it's probably a good idea to take it out. So yeah, please take it out. Oh? It hurts. I know it's screwed up. My voice cracked. Please, fix it. Make it better. I started to cry. I know how pathetic I must look, but I didn't care anymore. He cupped my face in both hands. Of course I will, sweetie. I'll do anything I can to make it all better. He touched his mask to my forehead in a gesture like a kiss. It somehow made me feel better. Something in the back of my head told me it shouldn't, but I ignored it. I just need to get some supplies. He walked away for a moment and started digging through the drawers somewhere in the darkness. I vaguely wondered how he could even see anything in here. He seemed to be taking longer than usual, though. I started feeling more aware of the cameras aimed at me. Smile? I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I lifted my gaze and shakily attempted a smile. Maybe if I appealed to them. It's not like there's much of anything else I can do. He finally came back, wheeling a small tray. He knelt down in front of me and held up a thin metal instrument. Oh, no! This is to hold your eye open so I can work. I nod. I understand. I shivered as he brought the tool to my eye. I bit my lip as he pushed it in, propping my eyelids open painfully. You might want to... Well, you might want to look away for your good eye anyway. As soon as he raised the scalpel, I immediately tried to look away. I can't do this! Shh. All you have to do is stay still. He suddenly pressed his face right up against mine and spoke in a whisper no microphone could pick up. I'm only cutting out the bad part for the audience. If you behave, I'll have an expert look at it later. Are you telling me Ren is still like... He is still like the little frog scrunkly I remember from way back in Boyfriend and Death 2? What the heck? He leaned away and twisted the scalpel deftly for the camera. Or was he demonstrating his dexterity for me? The idea evaporated from my mind as he raised the scalpel into position. I bit down on the screen as the blade penetrated the ruined flesh in my eye socket. I could feel him carving. My entire body was shaking violently. The sound of delicate metal instruments grazing each other punctuated my whimpers. I tried to fight through the pain, to stay still. I actually welcomed the vice-like grip of his hand, steadying my head. He was moving quickly. So quickly, he almost became a blur. The throbbing pain began to subside. It's better. Passing out? Huh? What's happening? Wants me to... We'll go again, but... We'll kill them. Yeah, I think so too. For another show. That's what I thought. Let's get you stitched up. Oh! Did I survive? Is it over? It felt as though I drifted in and out of my sleep for days. But I couldn't tell. I kept dreaming about pain and teeth. I felt a shift, something pulling my awareness from the deep murk again. Something patting my head. Did I wake you? My body was... Hi, Hi, Ren! My body was so heavy. There you are. You've been sleeping for so long. I was a little worried you'd slipped into a coma. I looked at him, panic rising, but I couldn't seem to speak. Shh. Relax. No show today. Those words sent a wave of relief through my body. I've gotten you all fixed up. They couldn't save your eye, but it's been prepared for a prosthetic. I barely remembered my eye. I reached up to touch it automatically. I recoiled with a gasp as I felt nothing there. Don't fiddle with it. It needs to heal more. Something about what he said. Prosthetic. Oh, God. Why would you help me? Why can't I move? Stay silent. Why would you help me? Why would you even bother fixing my eye? If you're just going to kill me. My voice came out as a croak. He looked down at me for a moment before answering. Your show's been very popular. It seems that my audience adores you. They're begging to see more. But they're fickle, too. You may not live to see that prosthetic. He chuckled softly. It's better to be prepared, just in case. I relaxed slightly and started to look at him more closely. As I focused, I realized I've never really seen his skin before. He's covered in... It's rude to stare, you know. I hastily tore my gaze away from his scars and fidgeted nervously. He let out a quiet, light-hearted chuff. It's fine. You're on a lot of drugs. Probably won't remember any of this anyway. Who did this to you? Were you in shows too? Who did this to you? He laughed, a single dry bark. A dead man did. You know, I used to think he opened my eyes. Then I thought he closed them. And now, I realized he didn't do much at all. He may have made the scars, but the scars didn't make me. I did that myself. He laughed again, but this time more heartily. God, why am I falling for Ren more? I guess it's time for me to go. There's always business to attend to. Wait! Huh? Are you going to kill me or not? Well, that's up to Chad, isn't it? I thought you were the one in charge. Get some rest. Before I knew it, he was gone. And I was alone again in an empty room. I tried to think about what happened, but a mist in my mind closed in again. And I drifted back to sleep. Something was shaking me roughly. I reluctantly opened my eyes and groaned. Be gentle, for God's sake! I didn't pay for all that medical work for you to tear it all up again. Sorry, sir. Try to make sense of what was happening. I was dragged to my feet. Come on. Showtime's in 5 minutes. Showtime? Showtime? The gears in my head started to slowly turn, and panic started creeping into my awareness. Low down in my body. Surely enough, I was dressed in another lingerie outfit that was barely covering anything. This one was nauseatingly girly. Pink bows, ruffles everywhere. A top and a bottom alongside a skirt and garters, clearly designed with fetishes in mind. Ugh. My legs wouldn't work at all, but that didn't stop the goons from dragging me. Eventually, I made it to the heavy door. It's a dark room. I was shoved forward into the abyss and pushed into my spot on the floor. My head was swimming. My limbs were numb. I could barely concentrate, let alone fight them as they snapped the familiar shackles on. My wrists were raised above and clipped into place on the chain. I remember this. I remember all of this. I should be afraid. All right, out! Out! I blinked slowly. I should. The screens are so bright. Hello again, my friends. I'm so happy to see you all again. I've got quite a treat for you today. A lovely star, Lion, is back for an encore. And this time, I thought it would be fun. His hand brushed over my chest possessively. If they had a bit of cocktail before the show. They're on a few painkillers, among other things, so they're a little out of it. What is this painkiller-like stuff? Very astute and vulgar question, darling. Physical pain can open and close many doors. Don't worry, you don't have to understand. I'm only too happy to demonstrate. Now, I remember the other day, a few people were asking for some hardware fun the other day. So why don't we play another game? As he walked out of view, I felt my head drooping. I feel so heavy. Why are the screens so bright? I jumped at the sound of a motor. I imagined a car or a train. What? He returned to me, searching frantically for whatever machine was about to Oh no, are you serious? Are you freaking serious? Are you gonna put me through the hammer or drill question again? This meme has died years ago. What the frick? He returned to me searching frantically for whatever machine was about to mow me down. Also, you have seen this before, right? Oh! It's the nail gun. Yeah, I remember that from the last game. Loud bang set my body jumpy as much as the shackles will allow. My pounding heart felt like it was going to explode. It's a pneumatic nail gun. He circled around me and pressed the cold metal tip to my shoulder. You know what a pneumatic nail gun is, sweetie? I looked up at him. I couldn't seem to focus. I don't know. It's a tool for firing nails. Don't shoot me. Stay silent. I don't know. I don't. No idea, huh? Another bang and a sickening, tingling sensation. What? I tried to see my shoulder. The light from the screen caught a metallic tip, and a tiny bead of blood was welling around it. Is that a nail? Is it? That's right. I knew it was supposed to hurt, but it felt different. Without the pain, it just felt like something that wasn't supposed to be there, digging deep into my arm. No. Squirming under my skin. Take it out! Take it out! I couldn't mask the panic in my voice. It's time for question 2. He moved the tip of the gun over my arm, closer to my elbow. What's my name? It's Fox! Fox! You said... Aw, you remembered. Well, fortunately for you, it's not my real... What do you mean? Come on, you had to know that. He pulled the trigger. My arm was shaking. I wanted it to stop, but it just made me feel them more. Under my skin. Moving under my skin. Please! Take them out! I hate it. I can't. He wrapped his hand around my arm and squeezed, forcing rivulets of blood from the nails. I could feel every bit of them moving, scraping against bone. I couldn't help but scream. It sounded awful, like someone else. How about an easy one? I made a sound somewhere between a groan and a sob. I couldn't seem to control myself at all. Hey. He grabbed my head and forced me to look at him. Pay attention, okay? Here's your question. What are the last 5 letters of the alphabet? Huh? Oh, that's definitely not one of them. He got up and took his position at my side. I couldn't bear to look. He slid the tip of the gun over my other shoulder. Wait, and I wasn't! I strained to make my brain work. See why I couldn't concentrate. The tip of the gun caressed my shoulder. The sensation of the nails moving deep in my arm was making me feel sick. I couldn't think of anything else. You're too slow. I heard the bang of my body convulse as another nail was lodged in my arm. Ugh. The nails. I sagged in my bonds, twitching reflexively. He was talking again. I heard words, but I didn't understand them. Is he asking me another question? He fired another nail into me. Stop. I can't. He's asking another question. I know he must be. Is he asking them or me? What's happening right now? Metal on my thigh. He's gonna shoot me again. I thrashed, try to get away. Another nail. And another. Is he laughing? Wait, is that me? Am I laughing? I felt his hands on my face. Stay with us now. Can you hear me? I panicked at the sound of another question. Yeah, I hear. He barked to laugh. I don't have the nail gun anymore. I could hardly concentrate on what he's saying. I could only feel the nails squirming in my muscles, burrowing inside me, heating up my blood. Take them out, please, take them out. Why don't you take them out? I looked up at him questioningly. Here, I'll let you use your hands. I heard the familiar click of the shackles snapping open. My arms fell forward like dead weights. The motion aggravated the nails inside them. Ugh. Go ahead. I can't pull him out. I need to pull him out now. He's watching. Try to lift my arms. It felt like it was made of lead. Trembling, twitching. My hand approached a nail embedded near my elbow. I gingerly pinched the head of the nail in my fingers. Just pull. Just pull it out. I pulled. The sensation of it slipping out of the meat of my arm made me lurch. I could feel it inside me, sliding, parting my flesh. Rough metal against a soft part of me that should never have been touched. I pulled, blood and nail emerging from inside me slowly, agonizingly slowly. Some insane piece of my mind wished I was in pain. Pain is better, simpler. Finally, the tip of the nail slipped out and I let it fall to the floor. I shuddered with relief and revulsion at the same time. Good. Now do the rest. I looked at him, bewildered. I could feel panic hammering at the inside of my chest. Why? Please, can't you? No. I jumped at the sound of his voice behind me. I gulped and tried to steady myself. I can do it. Just do it faster. I felt along my skin until I find the head of another nail in my shoulder. Fast. I grasped the nail. Do it, do it, do it! I tore the nail out of myself in one motion. I crumbled into a sob as it skittered across the floor. Hot blood trickled down my arm. There you go. It feels so awful. But my arm did feel better. They're gone. I heaved a few deep breaths. They're just nails. Just nails. I shook my head and went back to work. I began pulling nails on my skin more quickly. The sick feeling of them sliding around inside me was enough motivation. I pulled them for myself, writhing, pulling, dizzy, blurring. But that was another sensation. The holes the nails left started to feel warm and tingling. I tore the last nail out of my leg with a moan, and I slumped forward. My work was finally done. My body was covered in warm spots, points of light like little stars. I laughed to myself. What kind of drugs am I on? A pathetic, needy sound escaped me as he walked away. The cool air where his body used to be made me shiver. Something isn't right. I know this isn't. You like that, huh? See? Didn't I tell you? There's more than one way to skin a... Oh? Neko M has an interesting suggestion. His chuckle sounded like music. You guys are really in the mood for power tools today. Well, you know what I always say. Your wish is my command. He walked somewhere in the darkness. My brain replayed the words power tools over and over. That's bad, isn't it? Isn't it bad? He returned to me, holding some new object. I froze at the sudden burst of light and heat. Neko says you're bleeding a lot. That we should cauterize your little holes. I couldn't fully comprehend what he was saying. I have a little challenge for you too. Do you think you can handle it? Me? That's right. I'm going to leave your hands free, and you're going to keep them down. I looked down at my hands and touched my arms, dead weights. I scoffed. That's easy. I laughed at my response. Is it? Just remember, or else I'll burn your hands. You don't want that. Nah, I don't want that. My slurred responses felt automatic, like someone else was speaking for me. A smile crept at the edge of my lips. That's nice. That's easier. I watched him raise the nozzle of the blowtorch to my arm. Heat and light exploded from the tip. My eyelids fluttered, bewildered. An echo of the sun was burned into my vision. I couldn't blink it away. You may not want to look directly at it, Pat. Not if you want your only eye to keep working. He laughed and I laughed along with him. Yeah, I should look away. It's too bright. Light flashed again, and I felt a blast of heat. It's so hot. I lifted my hand weakly to touch a hot spot on my arm. Claws clamped down around my wrist. Keep your hands down. I gasped at the change in his demeanor. For some reason, I felt ashamed. How did I forget? Sorry, I'm sorry. His claws disappeared and another miniature sun blossomed at the edge of my vision. I started to notice a strange smell. It's burning. Light flashed again and again. The smell got stronger. Heat and burning. The little suns. Images of campfires start to dance in my head. My mouth watered in images of things being cooked over a flame. Cool air washed over the hot spots on my body and the darkness returned. How do you feel, darling? Hungry. That familiar fox bark erupted from him. Really? It smells like... Ooh. Why don't you take a bite? No! A bite. Gently picked my arm up from the ground and held it up in front of me. I realized the smell was indeed coming from me. Go ahead. That's my arm? Do it. His voice had changed again. That was a command. I have to. I brought my arm to my face, and I breathed in the intoxicating scent of charred meat. I wanted to taste it anyway. I opened my mouth and licked the skin. The texture was so rough and the sensation sent sparks through me. I sank my teeth in without another thought. Tingling heat, pressure, even the slick of my own saliva. It made me crazy. I slowly pulled away a chunk of meat with a moan. As I rolled it in my mouth, I felt him press up behind me. I chewed and relished the morsel. I was so hungry. You're so cute. They adore you. They? I gazed settled on the camera in front of me. Your audience. Don't you remember? I swallowed. Chad. That's right. They've been watching you this whole time. I looked at the bleeding divot in my arm. Something in the back of my mind was screaming. They love watching you bleed. They love watching you falling apart. All your hopes and dreams, all the memories, an entire life spilling out on the floor. Some of them are probably having fun with themselves right now. Did you know that? Something was dripping from my chin. I didn't know if it was blood or tears. I was shaking. They can all see you. I heard a faint click and a shuffling of him removing his mask. I shivered as his lips touched my ear. But only I can smell you. The screaming inside me was scratching at me, trying to escape. Take another bite. That's my arm! Fangs clamped down onto my collar, stunning me to silence. Without pain, there was only the pressure and the vague sensation of tearing. He thrashed and pulled for a moment, ripping the skin apart viciously. I felt blood spill out from his mouth, still close over my neck. I felt his tongue moving slowly over the wound. Ugh! Why did I make that sound? I know this is bad, I know it is. But so... I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to ignore it. All I could sense was his tongue and his heavy breathing. This was not helping at all. He leapt at my wound a few times before he finally withdrew, panting. I sat there, still stunned, as he licked his lips and put his mask back on. He cleared his throat. He seemed almost embarrassed. That's enough. With a quick roll of his shoulders, he turned back to the screens. Well, who's ready for the grand finale? You came here for blood, and blood you shall receive. His demeanor changed again. I couldn't keep track of what was happening. This next little game is very simple. He circled behind me again. I jumped a little when something light fell on my shoulders. Wire. It closed around my neck. A bubble of fear made its way to the front of my mind. It connected the wire loop to the chain above me. What? The wire tightened. I had to strain my shackled legs to raise myself enough to breathe. It seemed nearly impossible with my body feeling so heavy. My head was spinning. Here. Huh? I looked at his offering. I gingerly took it into my hands. A knife. You want to see blood, darling. Blood. You want to see blood. The unspoken agreement materialized in my head. Cut myself and the wire goes away. Right? That's easy. Nothing hurts now. I slashed the blade sloppily across the top of my thigh. As expected, blood began to seep out from the wound. I looked up expectantly. That's good. But you want to see more. I slashed again with little concern for my legs. I could barely feel it anyway. No. Huh? Your belly. Deeper. I looked down. Deeper? I touched the point of the knife to the side of my stomach. I knew the wire must be cutting into my neck. My breaths were so shallow. It's like a dream. Just a dream. I pushed the tip inside, full with wonder at how easy it was. I understand now. They want to see my insides. I dragged the blade across my belly, deep through skin, fat, and muscle. Wait. My hand immediately froze. I looked up at him, knife still inside me, waiting for my next instruction. But he just stood there. He turned to his screens. No, of course not. Your wish is my... Actually, screw that. Show's over. The screen suddenly went dark. I can't see. I felt something grab the knife out of my hands and threw it across the room. I gasped as the wire suddenly released and I fell forward onto my knees. I took in a few ragged breaths as the wire was pulled away from my neck. Dizzy and confused, I felt the shackles around my ankles open. I was pushed onto my back. What's happening? Why did you stop the... Shut up! Stop talking. I heard a knock at a heavy door. You hit the call button, sir. Medics! Now! I have two here. The abdomen. Stop the bleeding. I want them alive. This one is mine now. I'm sorry, what? Anyway, that was the price of flesh. God freaking damn it. Like, how is it Fox's route is the most gruesome out of the four? One in the world. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to play this game for yourself, I am not leaving a link to this in the description below. Like heck, you can find it literally anywhere. And again, I don't want minors finding this. Those of you who know how to find it, good on you. All the power to you, but otherwise, heck, whatever. But anyway, that is officially the end of The Price of Flesh. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.